I'm using an elephant butt as my focus point, all right? Hi and welcome to the vlog. I'm Tova, this is ParentXP. I realised that I haven't taken the time to properly introduce us and tell you why we're doing this. I'm fairly certain it's pretty obvious by now that we are a special needs family, and life with a special needs child is very busy and very hectic. So why on earth have Rob and I decided to add an extra layer of difficulties into our life by vlogging? Stay tuned. In this video you will find out why we did that, you will find out why we chose the name ParentXP, and you will finally find out what Elin's condition actually is, because I'm fairly certain I haven't touched on that either. At birth, Elin suffered oxygen deprivation and she suffered brain injuries over her entire brain, including her brainstem. And her official diagnosis, there's a few. Anyway, what is the plural of diagnosis? Is it diagnosis? Tell me! Comment below and tell me what the plural of diagnosis is. Her official, whatever the plural of diagnosis is, are quadriplegic cerebral palsy with high tone, global delay, she has severe reflux, she has non-epileptic seizures, and probably many more to come. She's only 5. We are still very much discovering what how these brain injuries are going to affect her in her life. But cerebral palsy is, I suppose, quite an easy and comfortable diagnosis. A lot of people feel like they at least have an idea of what it is, and Elin has got it. I said high tone. She is incredibly hypertonal, going overboard with the pronunciation here. She's very, very stiff, as you can see. She gets spasms, she sort of throws herself around. It's kind of difficult to get her to stretch and just relax her muscles. So she burns a lot of calories because she's literally tense all the time, and oh God, girl's got a 6-pack. Her abs, really impressive. Elin also has a feeding tube, as I'm sure you all know by now because you've watched through the series of her having her surgery. She can eat oral food. We puree it and we spoon feed her, so she can eat, but she just doesn't quite have the energy to eat enough to keep her calorie intake where it needs to be. So her main source of intake is through the tube, and it's the specialist formula that she's on, and then any food above and beyond that is a bonus, it's a plus. It's a bit of speech and language therapy because she gets to chew and move things around in her mouth and swallow, and she gets to explore tastes and textures, and she really likes it. She's very fond of food, particularly food with lots of flavour. We have Alice, our little 2-year-old, who I sometimes describe as far too able-bodied for our own good. We went from a child who can't walk to a child who never stops moving. Yeah, we were not prepared for what that was going to be like. Did you guys know that 1-year-olds spend 6 months of their lives with a permanent bruise in the middle of their forehead because they run into or fall off everything? I didn't. But yeah, I mean, now Alice is 2, she's starting to, not necessarily always have a bruise somewhere on her head. But you do. You do, Kneppis. We enrolled her in gymnastics when she was 18 months old because we just had to give her a safe place to explore her physical abilities. She definitely needed that. Yeah, so Alice is a very attentive, very caring little sister. She's incredibly concerned about Elin, or Nuna as she call her. Elin's full name is Elin Iduna, and Alice has kind of hooked onto that middle name, so she calls her Nuna. Yeah, very, very concerned for Nuna's well-being. If Nuna's upset, then Alice will tell us, and she'll go and play with her, and she's just so sweet. Then there's Rob, also referred to as the lanky git or the sarcastic git. Then there's Rob, also referred to as the
great guy
or
devilishly handsome man,
who is my husband. He's a stay-at-home dad, so he looks after the girls full-time, well, way more than full-time, so that I can go to work. Prior to becoming a stay-at-home dad, he was a photographer and a graphic designer, so he's really enjoying the chance of putting those skills to use in this venture. And I'm just so impressed, and I'm so grateful of what he's able to do, and the fact that he is really the one who's putting in all of the hours. I just sit here and talk to the camera. He does everything else. Yeah, he does. And there's me. So I'm a Swede living in the UK for almost 20 years. I've been here. I work full-time. I am a weightlifter, I'm a bullet journaler, and now I'm apparently also a YouTuber. See how life changes. Things that you can expect from this channel will be stuff about exercising, how you stay strong enough to look after a disabled child, the kinds of things you can do, how you make the time for it. That really is the toughest one. You know, where in this life do you fit in working out, and how important it really is. You can expect a lot of home and family organisation things, like how we do our weekly plans and how we do our meal plans and how we keep track of who's got to be where and at what time. You can obviously expect a lot of updates about Elin. So we started off with the series about the operation that she had to get her feeding tube put into her stomach. We are in the process of investigating if something's going on with her heart, so we're recording that as we're going on. Yeah, literally anything like that going on with her. So why did we start? Why did we do this? Why YouTube? Why choosing that forum? I got into watching YouTube videos when we were going through IVF to have Elin. And that was the first time I started watching YouTube, and I was finding, I was looking for IVF vlogs, and I was looking for pregnancy vlogs and family vlogs, that kind of thing, and I came across a fair few that I really enjoyed. Some of them are even with me today, you know, over 6 years later, and yeah, I really enjoyed them, and I loved watching them, and I loved comparing with my experience, and you know, sort of the things I could identify with and the things that were really different. And even back then I was sort of wondering, oh, can I do this? Then all of these vloggers that I was following, they had their babies. They're healthy, perfect babies that they got to take home immediately. And I was sitting in a neonatal intensive care unit with my life absolutely turned upside down, and I didn't have a clue what the future had in hold for me. And I mean, even one of the doctors in NICU said to us, if she survives, she's not going to have any quality of life. I mean, first of all, how on earth do you say that to somebody? But how do you deal with that as a first-time parent? How do you find the ability to keep going with that? And that was the point where YouTube failed me, because I couldn't find any special needs family vloggers back then. I mean, to this date I've only found a few, and out of the few I've found, there are even less that I actually like to watch, because I like personality, and I like a sense of humor, and I like a lot of sarcasm, and that's what I bring into my parenting. And you know, it isn't doom and gloom, it isn't all over, it isn't horrible, it isn't sad. Elin's amazing, she's just she's so much fun. It is tough, you know, I fight battles on a daily basis for her sake, but it's not bad. So I don't want this to be a sad vlog in any shape or form. But I mean, back then it was really hard, and I couldn't find anybody that I could identify with, and that is probably the main driving force of why I decided to start to vlog. Because I'm wondering that because I'm thinking that maybe there's another new special needs parent standing out there, looking at me now and going, really? You know, can I cope with this? What is my future going to be like? And I can't tell you exactly what your future is going to be like, but I can tell you that you can cope, and I can promise you that you are strong enough. And I can absolutely promise you that your child is perfect. Your baby is perfect in every possible way. And you're going to get so much joy out of parenting a special needs child. And you're going to create so many fantastic and special friendships with other special needs parents. And you're going to learn so much. And you're going to advocate so much, because people don't know about special needs children, and they're often scared to ask, and because they're scared to ask, they often ask in the wrong way. I mean, God knows how many times I've had, but what's actually wrong with your daughter? There is no better way of asking that question, by the way, and I don't get angry if somebody asks, and I will always very, very happily explain what happened to Elin and how it affects her, and if there is anything that you would like me to talk about, if you have any questions, if you have questions about Elin or about us, the rest of the family, or about what our lives are like, please comment down below. Put your questions there. I will do my best to answer them. Either do a Q&A vlog at some point or pick them up as topics for vlogs to come. So we're releasing videos every weekend, so weekly, and there are different topics. A few of them will be series, like the one we've just done, other will be one-ups, and then the occasional sort of touching back on things and seeing what's happened since then. So there you have it. That's who we are. That's why we started to vlog. And the name ParentXP came about. We almost call this Mum Level Up. Because I feel like that's what I do so often. I mean, oh my God. Changing a nappy whilst breastfeeding, Mum Level Up. Making lunch one-handed whilst holding a really upset child, Mum Level Up. Creating a fashionable little top out of a scarf because your daughter has just projectiled all over you in the middle of hospital and you have no clothes to spare, Mum Level Up. But not all parents are mums, so I didn't want this to be a mum vlog. I didn't want to be, you know, excluding half of the population, a whole different set of gender. So we settled on ParentXP, so parent experience points. That's the name of the vlog, is Parent Experience Points, ParentXP, ParentXP, sorry. Rob's a bit of an ex-gamer, so that's where that's come from. And we are probably going to do a ParentXP series, going into more detail about the experience points that we have collected. If you are another special needs family vlogger, or if you know about any other special needs family vloggers, please comment and leave a link down below, because I really want to find these vlogs. I really want to follow their journeys, or your journeys rather, and see what you experience and how you do it. I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please subscribe for more toddler tantrums.
Just get through it, woman.
Yeah, the light just turned off.
Oh, the light turned off?
Yes.
Battery's low.
Ah, that's why. All right, I better get through this quickly. Battery's low. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Please tell us if there's anything... I give up. I give up. The vlog is ending in darkness. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Bye.